Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It's a familiar place. It's a familiar voice. It's a familiar time here at Team Fortress TV because it is I, TurboTabs. But I'm not alone. I'm not the only boomer here waiting in the wings. I've got my fellow co-caster Beta joining me today, and we've also got old man DrHappiness over on producer or production or whatever you want to call it. Anywho. This is Team Fortress TV. This is ETF2L Season 35. 35 of these glorious seasons, and we still keep chugging. And speaking of chugging, we're week 4 into our little season, and we've got two names that I actually recognize somewhat. My mum will recognize these, Beta, if she's watching tonight. I know. But they're slightly different, so I'm sure we'll get a little bit into that just for my sake and just for everybody who happens to be tuning in. But it is LEGGO versus das liest doof. So yeah, Beta, tell me, how's it been? I've been away for a while.
Oh, it's been very chaotic this season. Like just this LEGGO team, it's not the normal LEGO. It's with an extra G because it's an old team called Egg that folded mid-season, kind of. Except that it didn't fold, it just got a bunch of different players in there, and then it just kept going, and then they kind of just changed team to LEGGO instead of Egg. So, it's confusing, but then the good old German team is pretty much the same as it's always been. It's just the Germans, basically. No Warrior this time around, but they've got some other star-studded players in here as well.
Yeah, would you believe I actually did a little bit of research, all 5 minutes of it before I came in tonight, and I believe they're going to be using Amarok, the Frenchie, to be playing out their Demo Man class tonight. I usually see him rocking that soldier class, but it'll be interesting to see what sort of presence he has on Demo Man. I mean,
he was very good on Demo Man. He's done that before, and he just destroyed everything. He was very, very good. So I think he should be more than capable of putting up a good fight against the absolute superstar Demo Man from France, which is LEGGO. One of the best Demo Men in Europe, and just in general, a crazy good DM. But Amarok, he definitely has the DM to match up with him. It's just he's gonna have the game sense and overall feel for the game. He's gonna be kind of playing with a new team, so to speak, in this role at least. So it should be very interesting to see how it all holds up. But if you just look at the tables too, it's kind of weird this season because Electro folded mid-season. So now a bunch of teams don't have as many games played, and they don't have as many points, or they all of a sudden have more points than they should have. So we actually have LEGGO in 6th place, despite them being like the favorites to win, basically going into this, maybe after Ascent. And then das liest doof is right above them with 8 points, whereas LEGGO has 7 points. And they both have lost. They only have 4 games played, or 4 maps played.
Yeah, it hurts poor little LEGGO a little bit harder because I know that they were the one team that played against Electro before they ended up folding, and they actually won that matchup if I'm correct. I think they got like a golden cap loss sprinkled in there.
Points.
Yeah, so that's pretty good to say, like compared to the results that maybe the other teams have been playing Electro with. So it kind of stings them a little bit. It's kind of made the tables all skewed in the wrong direction. But I mean, this is the turning point, right? This is the point where you're going to see these two teams kind of meeting up around the same mark in the tables, and that's where they're going to start overtaking or undertaking past each other. So you do tell me that LEGGO is favorite tonight, and I can see some pretty favorite names. It's quite interesting that it's almost like they've done some contract work. They've just hired out the LEGGO boys, and Josh Deemel have turned up, and the beauty about a player like Josh, I'd imagine he's still doing it now, is like he's a main caller and sort of like team maker, just in of himself. He kind of like you install a team when you put Josh onto the roster, because he's going to be like doing that sort of authoritarian calling style where you don't even have to think, you just play TF2.
Yeah, and you can definitely tell that he is calling for this team. The few games that they've played this season, it's been very evident that it's like a Josh team, and he's doing the calling because it's very aggressive and pushing on for very small advantages. And there's just so little delay between something happening and the entire team just moving on it. So that's always really fun to watch, if nothing else. But it's also very effective. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing if they can keep it up and just play together as a team, because there was a bit of a team mix-up. They they lost some players. They lost Tiger, and then I think they lost the medic as well. So we have Shock coming in, who was originally on Aura Electro, and then Kunu might have been on Aura Electro as well. So I think that's why on the TFTV page everyone is tagged up as Aura Electro. I think someone made a mistake in there, and it's kind of like, oh, those guys on Aura, but not anymore.
Well, it's glad to hear that TF2 just doesn't change. The gameplay doesn't change. The Premier tables is still just as incestuous as ever, where everyone is just constantly tossing and changing one another. But I mean, some fresh names, also some old names on the side of the German squad. Fischkopf, that's a name I used to play with, and that was a very long time ago. And I mean, by this point now, he must have such a pedigree on him, or that experience. He's probably calling for that team, no?
Yeah, he might be. He's been pretty good. I feel like he's just been slowly getting better and better and better and better. And yeah, like he used to play on a team with me back in the day. Like we were playing soldiers together, if you could believe it. And then he's just gotten so much Prem experience these past many seasons. And then his soldier buddy this season is Gazi, who used to play scout for the Germans. So that's a bit of a shake-up as well. But he was actually really impressive in the few matches that I've watched so far. So he's definitely going to be one of those players that I'm going to keep my eye on, because I think he might just be really good at soldier. You know, when you put someone with good aim on soldier, they just usually tend to do well.
Well, this is I've actually got a fresh little bit of trivia for you here, Beta. The fact that the last game I tried to cast was back in season 34. It was a Wer das liest ist doof team, and I've actually had I've got my little whiteboard to my left of me here. It tells me all the teams and the players and stuff like that. And all these players were playing completely different classes last season. So the only person that's really like kind of came up and shocked this all out is that Gazi. So I'm kind of interested to see this person that would cause such a ripple in the whole team to make them switch from soldiers to scouts to all these sorts of different classes, to just see how they get on.
It should be very interesting to see. And you know, these guys, they're very close in the tables, and you know, there's a lot of chaos in the table, so it's very questionable how much you can take things for granted or just by sight. But I will also say this season has been an absolute bloodbath. Like, everyone has been losing to everyone. I think Ascent just immediately lost the game to 6, and 6 are just in the top of the bracket. So if you just go by look so far, they are the best team in Europe. And I'm going to continue to call them that until that's misproven. But just in general, there are no safe games. I think yesterday was like one of the safe ones, but they almost never happen. And I feel like these two teams are close enough that it's going to be very entertaining, and it's just going to be whoever is playing better on the day is going to win this. And that's the most intriguing kind of TF2 to me, is where it's not about like the quality of the players, and like it's not just given beforehand who's going to win. It's just actually about who's better on the day and who has prepared more and just plays better.
Yeah, well, when you've got such chaos like this, it's probably going to come down to the maps, the map match-outs and the map kind of match-ups between the teams, and just how they're feeling about these particular maps. Our first map we're going to be going to this evening will be Process_Final. So, how are you feeling, Beta? Come on, tried and true predictions as always. Who's going to win this map?
I think LEGGO's going to win this, and it's going to be closer than you might expect just looking at the names. I think it's going to be something like 4-2, maybe 5-3. I could see it being a pretty high-scoring game just because it's LEGGO and they like to push a whole lot, and sometimes that's going to go wrong and they're going to get pushed back on. And at the same time, I feel like the Germans are strong enough that if you give them a small advantage, they're just going to be able to just ride it out for a really long time and get some rounds off of that. So that's my prediction. What about you?
I'm going to go devil's advocate. I think the Germans have got this. They're going to put on a show for me, just for like old time. I'm going to finally cast that word, last East Doof game I should have casted a long time ago. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're in here. It's your boy TurboTabs, it's Beta, and it's Where Das Liest Doof versus LEGGO over on this first mid. And the first thing I'm seeing on this mid is just a bit of quietness. Everyone's kind of like playing a bit quietly so far. Josh will be the first one to jump in, and he creates a bit of space, but not really much past that. Maybe a quick direct rocket, and actually lives to tell the tale, gets out. But I can't say the same about the aggression for the Das Liest Doof, as they're getting
nice shot from
demolished, and Amarok can't even weasel his way back out to his medic, and he's going to take a good little taxi back and having to give up not only mid but second as well.
Yeah, just a few players barely surviving there for the side of LEGGO. Gonna just tip the favor of that mid, and then Josh getting the demo man there with a nice shot. That's really gonna mean that they're gonna get second for free. But a very close mid. That was not a very convincing win, so to say. Looks like Amarok's going to try and see if he can get this sentry gun. At least he's spotted it now. I don't know if he knew about it before. But they're going to try and see if they can worm their way in there. And Soldier comes in. Oh, I think they were trying to get down the sentry gun, and then Timur could go in for the suicide jump, but the sentry gun was still up. So he just kind of got joggled by it. So a bit unfortunate timing there from him. He was just kind of going off of calls and not what he saw. And sometimes it doesn't quite go as you plan.
Yep, and with someone with the demo man, with the soldier going down, usually that calls for an equal suicide coming out from the enemy team. You don't get many of these chances to throw a player in and not be punished for it. So they see them poking about at these doors, but they're not actually going to barrel in a player, it looks like. Oh no, they're going to claim a player instead. Josh peeking too far from the chokeway and will get punished for it. This isn't the license now. They've got Vortex just moving in and immediately getting gunned down.
Yep, he spotted the sniper, all right. So, I mean, that's some info for them at least. And, you know, Josh, he might have plans all along. He might go banner. He likes to do that. It looks like that's not going to be the case. But Fishkopf goes down, so there's going to be a ton of space right now. Kuna tries to go in and gets the soldier, but Gassy, he's going to continue to survive. Actually does a ton of damage onto Elikor. Elikor will survive. But Dimor has been pushed pretty far back, so he's going to just be sitting around here in lobby so far, trying to see if he can get in. Oh my god, Elikor gets just bomb rushed. And then Amarok gets taken down as well, so both demo men going down, but then Dimor is just going to be left alone in the lobby. Yeah,
but he takes a life with him. He gets Amarok down, and that's a pretty big pick. But it's going to make this pushing out a bit hard for the Das Liest Doof, but they're making it work. They actually drop a player during the midst of an Ubercharge fight, and now the Uberchargers are just kind of grinding up against each other. Nobody's really going to take the sort of jump in, apart from Fishkopf, who will get punished for his jump in, but they get some space to cap the second point.
That seemed like a really early Uber from Shock there. It looked pretty weird to me. I don't know, maybe he was under more pressure than I initially saw, but his Uber was definitely a lot earlier, and he was pretty lucky to actually get out. And the people that tried to rush him down through choke actually got taken down by some nice rockets and stickies, so kind of worked out. Going to be back to even Ubers right now, and I'm just curious what's LEGGO going to do here, because the onus is usually on the aggressive team that holds mid. To try and get in here for the suicide. It's a lot easier to find the angle as well. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Fishkopf kind of position himself inside of the PC area and just get ready to do the counter sack, because very often you can just go, oh, there's going to be a double soldier bomb in, and then one or two of those soldiers are going to die, and then you're just going to immediately get in there. Timur's going to jump in. There will be no second soldier though, but Wooler takes a big rocket, but there's going to be no follow-up, it looks like.
Yeah, the power of foresight and my camera is telling me that they actually had an opportunity there over on LEGGO where they could have gone in a bit more aggressive, because Mula was disconnected from all other players there. No heals were being put out at all during that entire exchange, and probably could have got a few picks here and there.
Oh yeah, Gazzy goes down. He was a bit too far forward. There's this very aggressive push in here. This is the LEGGO that we were talking about. Look at this. The Uber exchange comes out, and it's looking a lot better right now for LEGGO as Amarok gets just demolished.
Oh, it was one signal against the very multiing of Mula, and it will have to give up one of his players. Unfortunately, it was Amarok. That's like your backbone for this defense here. They're going to have to commit a lot of players here to try and defend this point, and they're throwing bodies onto it, throwing as much health as they can, and there's just too many bodies to deal with on the blue side. It will be 1-0.
Really good haggling of the health here for LEGGO. You can see they're all weak, but that's kind of what you want in a push. You want everyone to be weak and nobody to be dead. So you can just maintain the the damage output for as long as possible. And they did a really good job of just spreading out, putting on a ton of pressure, and just riding off of that one-man advantage in there. Just a bit of damage, and they just kept plowing forward, and that's going to be 1-0 here for LEGGO going into the second mid.
All right, let's see what they can come up with this time. They did do a very convincing mid over on LEGGO. Let's see if the Germans can adapt. If they want to kind of take this entire map, and it doesn't look like they're adapting at all. They will actually lose 2 players straight out of the bat. Straight out of it, and one of them being Demoman. I feel like I'm seeing a trend here. Amarok is just going down a lot, and it feels rough when you're this mercenary on this team and you're just feeling that disconnect and getting dropped a lot of the time.
Yeah, that kind of pressure is just so obnoxious for Demoman to deal with. I think we have some soldiers trying to at least ponder the option of going into choke here, but everyone from LEGGO is just going to back out. His shock was actually at a pretty significant uber disadvantage. I think he realized that he hadn't built quite properly, and if he got jump and choke, he would have no uber to save himself. So they just backed out here. They're going to take a breather, and then they're going to come up with another plan. Maybe it's just going to be another Demol suicide in there, and then he can go sniper as he wants. I feel like everyone on this team, they're just looking for excuses to go sniper. They're these kind of players, right? Kunu, Yeehaw, and Demol, they all just want to play perma sniper, so one of them are going to go in here and suicide, I guarantee it.
Well, they just still want to find a nice opportunity. Demol messing up his fancy little jump there. Demol's going to have to hit back to the jump servers and one of these days. There we go. He's got it the second time, but opts to actually go behind instead, and this does create a pressure on of its own. You kind of create this boogeyman scenario, but Gazy will kind of clean that person up, and it's a trade at the end of the day, and we're back to square one.
Yeah, it was a good thing he traded there, otherwise there would have been 2 down because Yeehaw died as well. He was going very aggressive in the sewer area. Didn't quite get anyone, so now it's going to be this very aggressive posturing right now. I think they've gotten so little done that they just need to get out of there. Yeah, Amarok is just going to get out. But credit where credit is due. I really like how doof is just putting on a ton of pressure. And then as soon as they can just see, oh, we're not quite going to get this, the spawners are going to come in here, and the spam is just going to be too much, they just back out, and they didn't really lose anything for it. So if they can just continue to deal with these suicide bombers really well, and then go for these counter-aggressive things could be pretty good looking for Verdesli's doof.
But how much time do you give, though, Beta? You're already 1-0 down in this scenario. If you were playing against a team like Seven, you'd be pooping your pants, because you know that with a round up, eventually, come 20 minutes, they're going to win this unless you do something. And I don't know, they have to start creating opportunities, and this is one of those opportunities they created. They will airshot Gazy out of the sky to deal with that opportunity, but I like the attempt.
Yeah, indeed, and Demol has found his opportunity. He is on sniper. You know, that's the key to go
and
for these.
He's back on soldier.
Oh, damn. I really thought he was going to do this. Fiskov's is going to jump in, see if he can find the medic, but the medic was in sewers right now, so he was just nowhere to be found, so that's just going to be a pick, and this is a Josh team. They might just push on it.
Yeah, all this pressure coming from all different sides. The scouts are low. There's a flank coming out from Yeehaw. Yeehaw will force the Uber out of Mulo, and now they have to start picking up the pieces, but they're actually dropping them instead. Idlos will pick up that kill onto Yeehaw, punishing him for that force, but the Uber's just not feeling too good over from with liest doof. They spend the majority of it just getting out.
Yeah, just like the pressure is just so strong, and just really good job by Yeehaw to just find this tiny crack there and just squeezing his way in and just putting on enough damage onto the medic that he felt like he had to pop there. So the Ubers are even. Josh's gonna again die here in this rollout area. You know, that's the second time he dies in there. Let's see if he learned something for the third time. I guess, but now it's going to be Kunu on sniper, so he's just kind of hanging back, just waiting for any kind of aggression to come out here. They're playing passive while they're down a soldier. Let's see, Josh, he is back in the fray now, so they can actually begin to be a lot more aggressive and push forward. Let's see if they can get some key picks here. Voxy is going to be on sniper as well, so you might see 2 snipers butting head here.
Yeah, I like, even if you feel like you're not the strongest sniper in the world, having another sniper pressure and another sniper still just, you know, keeps him guessing, really, keeps him not having the free game he wants.
Oh, there's a soldier, he saw his opportunity, he actually got in there. Gazy, he was just sitting in one, and no one was actually watching it from LEGGO, so he goes in here and takes down the Demoman. That's a huge pick. It's going to create so much space here for Verdesli's doof to get in.
Oh, they will force Shock out of with his Uber, but Demol will actually capitalize a bit on the backline. The medic's caught out in no man's land. Demol actually ends up killing himself against the Ubered medic, and there's a back cap during all of this. They're going to have to try and deal with Yeehaw and last, and that brings back 3 players to deal with him, and there's only the medic left on the point capping himself. Elikor's going to get pressured by said medic though, and there we go. The scouts are back. It's like that back cap never happened.
Yeah, that was pretty man mode there by Mula, just capping it and taking point himself. Elikor's going to try and see if he can jump out to not die to the soldier. He looks like he will succeed. Good job by him. But he's still being chased, and he actually eventually goes down to Gassy.
Ooh. All right, okay, I'm impressed. That was cool. That was nice.
Yeah. Oh, soldier in spawn. Gonna come in here. Gets one good rocket onto the medic. Oh, misses the air shot. Oh, that's painful from Demol. He was so close yet so far.
See, if you went to the TurboTabs book of soldiering there, you wouldn't go for the fancy air shot. No, you would wait for him to land on the ground and then just plant an easy peasy shoot floor, and you would get the kill guaranteed. But no, these Frenchies, they have to impress everybody, don't they, with their air shots?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he was probably on a time crunch. You know, like he didn't know he was in the middle of 4 players, so he probably had to hurry.
Perhaps. All right, we're going in. We've got an Uber. Amarok is going to take point with this Uber. Josh is going to go down. The leader down. Push as they're pressuring the point with Votek, but they've got a heavy weapons guy kind of making this kind of second push out of this Uber really, really difficult. They will get picked off by Elikor's stickies as well in these little chokeways, and that's a well-defended LEGGO there.
We've got Yeehaw on the crits as well. The revenge crits. I wonder how many he has. I can't quite tell. But it looks like he doesn't have enough to
Oh
justify.
no, he's gonna go back and oh man. That's a real shame as well. If only they carried over from next time you played Engineer.
Indeed. But no, he's actually just going to find the sniper who's in spawn. He has switched off again. But Elikor going down, that's going to cause everyone to be super passive. Actually, no one's watching Choke right now. Okay, now they're finally going back in there. But that was a huge opening right there. Poor Vetus needs the doof to get in here. And Fiskov's going to take a fight. Actually wins. Wow. All right. that works. That's the classic Roma trade right there.
Yeah, but they don't really want to push and punish it at all because they have to respect the fact that they have an Uber charge in their back pocket here ahead of the Dusty stuff. It has evened out now, but it was still a possibility. They're going to start moving in double scout chariot mode here in the PC room, but no initial pick found.
Oh, scout is snuck behind.
Have they noticed him though? I think Yeehaw smells him, is looking around, and he's taking the long way around the scenic route, and the medic should be aware of it. He needs a distraction to kind of capitalize off this. Demol's going to be checking the doorway, and there, scout surprise, and he's missing all of his scout surprises though, and it's a good thing they sent another player behind to kind of deal with all of that as well, because they get 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, he was getting scout class really badly there. I was getting pretty embarrassing, but they're actually just going to Uber in through this choke. They have that man advantage, so they can get rid of Ubers before the spawners come in. This is going to be really good, and they actually have pretty good positioning here as well. Amarok is under a ton of pressure. This soldier's not going to be long in there. Ooh, nice rockets there from Gazi though. Really nice job, and I think they might just actually push LEGGO back out.
Yep, that's the power of the spawns there, Vita. The fact that they took that even Uber fight, then just played the point from an arm's length and just trusted that their respawners were going to come back quicker than LEGGO's were, and that's what won them the fight.
Might see them actually just push all the way in here. Kind of saw what LEGGO would do here before, and it is going to be in here, but this is heavy that they need to focus down super quickly. He is pretty weak, but he took a long time to die. There was sentry gun as well, and it's actually still up. Okay, there we go. It has gone down. Now they're going to put time onto the point. Oh my god, this demo man getting floated around, and that's going to be a round here for Vetus Lisa Dove. That was really impressive push. They just kept pressing off these small advantages, and the aggression from LEGGO here kind of biting them in the ass in the end.
Fishkoff, don't worry, I saw all of it. I saw the meat grinder. Usually the meat grinder refers to like the entire team, but he was just a one-man meat grinder destroying the engineer, the soldier, everyone that was coming out of that right-hand spawn door. MVP of that last push. All right, another mid, another day. It's 1-1. It's a real nail biter here on this process mid. Let's see if they can actually conquer their mid demons as well as their last demons by worst last stuff. But they're going to lose the player in the first blood immediately. They do deal with Josh, who's usually the big sole contributor to winning these mids, and Ghazi will kind of take opportunity of all these distracted players to get them down. And 2 scouts left over, and the demo man, I know how this matchup works. Okay, the scouts are on hunting mode. Elikor's revealed himself, and he's like, oh dear God, why did I give my position away? I should have just let my teammate die.
Yeah, 2 scouts and a demo man there, being alive is about as good of a DM class setup that you can have at the end of a fight. So they're going to win that. They were pretty weak compared to the other 2 alive, but a scout and a demo man, even when they're very healthy, they just don't match up against 3 players where 2 of them are scouts. So it's going to be another scrappy mid here for the Germans. They're going to get this, and they're actually going to send in a Roamer really quickly. That was kind of a distraction. Looks like Fiskov might go for a battle. Okay, he doesn't quite make it in there. Josh going to win a duel on the flank right here. And I might just open up here for LEGGO to go for some sort of play on their own.
Yeah, and they do have the Uber built just a little bit quicker on the verse lasty stuff, but I think they're going to respect the team. I don't think they're possibly going to know that they've had a little advantage here. And oh, they actually throw in Demol ahead of time to try and get down the enemy before he actually gets his Uber, but no dice as he will be taken out. And you know, we're surely expecting a bomb from Ghazi here. Oh, and there he goes out of the map. Nice little crunching sound as he came back down.
Yeah, that was 2 really nice kills. So LEGGO, they're going to go for this again. This is what went wrong before. And it looks like they've lost Kuhn as well. I think they want to get out, but no! Amarok just putting down the pain. Everyone just dying right here. And you can see Shock, he really wants to get out, but I think there's like a sticky behind him that he hadn't spotted. And he just drops the Uber. That's really painful for LEGGO.
It's time for Big Dick plays here over on this LEGGO squad. They have to try and get this medic down. You know, medic might lose the points, but they'll save the round. Yeehaw, he's on a pixel of health, and he's calling in his backup squad. They will force the Uber out of this medic. It's better than nothing, but it's not what they were quite hoping for. Yeehaw's found himself a health pack, and he will go back down, sadly. And they're actually playing off each other very well. They're going to try and link up here, but they just can't seem to find the hits on these 2 enemies, and they will manage to just keep themselves alive in this chokeway. And I mean, you could call that a mission success, right? You've held second point.
Yeah, it was pretty good, but you can see the power of medic right here, just constantly pumping heals in. So nobody really died, they just got pushed out. And I think we're about to see a new push coming in here, but LEGGO, they don't want to give this up for free. Adriel is going to go down to Josh as well. Demul is trying to flank, but I think Fiskov is waiting on the mid here. Otherwise, that's going to be a deadly flank. Yeah, Fiskov will just debuff Demul, and he will be sent packing back home. So that was a good job there by Fiskov for actually holding the flank. I think a lot of players would have tried to involve themselves in that fight, but he made sure to hold.
All right. The Germans know they have Uber advantage. They're going in and they've already popped it off. This is one of those just like attacking Ubers where you just want to get your teammates in the mindset of like kill, go. Nothing should be scaring you right now, and well, they won't be scared of any soldiers anytime soon. They will take both of those out. They're capping the second points slowly in the attempt to push last point right now. And the scouts actually have to drop down and keep these choke points under control until the soldiers get back. Fishkoff will go down for Shock. Oh, Ghazi will also go down as well, attempting at Shock's life. And with an Uber charge advantage for LEGGO, they can make the push out here again and show the Germans how it's really done.
Really strong hold right here for LEGGO. They're gonna end up losing Josh right here as he was just pushing people out of choke. But overall, that was just an absolutely beastly hold right here from LEGGO. It was looking kind of grim, but just a few people from the Germans just being a bit too aggressive.
He's in. He's raining carpet bombs all over them. He's trying to do the 1-2 combo. Will actually set it up for his team instead. It's a game of volleyball, not so much a game of exploding bombs. I don't know what games they were playing with that, but still, they were. The chaos continues. They have the spoilers on their side here, Germans.
Join. Hold on.
And with the dust settles, it will be a LEGGO mid, and they've managed to keep their medic alive as well during all of that chaos. And it made me a little worried there as Elikor playing that scary one-player game was actually managed to combo it out with the rest of his team.
Yeah, that was a
So
really good jump in. It was no Lucas bomb, but it was good. And my sound just died, so I had to like rejoin Mumble. So that's what happened there. My apologies, but I'm back, and that's just Razer headphones for you. Don't buy them. They're shit.
oh, poor Razer. Okay, well, let's see if they've got their ear to the ground here on LEGGO. They're checking for any sort of fishy going-ons. They will find a sentry gun and they will clean it up as well. Nice, tidy so far. They've popped the Uber and they want to get barreling forward. The engineer will swap back off to scout, and they're pressuring Ghazi already. And the equal Uber has been equalized with Muller's own Uber. There's a lot of explosions going on here. How is Amarok still alive? He will go down eventually. They're capped at this point. The medic has taken point and they're just spread way too thinly on the Germans. It looked like things were going well for a second there.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how that was just a one pig advantage and nothing else, and LEGGO they just went in here. So that was the aggression paying off. You can just see, like sometimes it's great, sometimes it doesn't work, but you know they have that aggressive just gene in them, and it's very fun to watch, at least. So I think the Germans need to shut down the chokes there, to deny the entry from LEGGO, but they didn't do that and they got overpowered.
Yep, it is 9 minutes left on the clock. They're going to have to be feeling the squeeze on this German squad as they're just one round is separating them between the draw and a golden cap here. Demo will actually take out the scout in mid-air fight as Shock will go down. They just need to play the heels here now over on the German squad, but nobody's with the medic. They're all back into the fray of the fight, and the medic's going to get picked off as well. Oh no, actually, Vox Tech will just hold the line and
How
taxi
brave are
his
they?
medic back.
How brave are they? It's the scout and the medic against the scout and the demo man. You know, like
Yeah.
you should win that fight, right?
Come on, lad. Come on, lads. You've played some MGE before. What would Clockwork do? Look at your bracelet. What would Clockwork do? He wouldn't stay on the rock. Come on now.
Yeah, they're gonna do the smart thing and just wait for respawners to get in here, and just get in here with heals. Everyone's gonna be pushed back out, and it's not gonna be a big deal. It wasn't brave, but it was smart, and I don't respect that. Obviously.
Yeah, I guess you can never be too careful. I mean, with one round, they haven't got many chances and 7 minutes left as well. So, in the meantime, they've got an Uber advantage. They should know they have this. So, let's see what sort of aggression they can dish out here. They're opting to go the long way. They want to hold on to this Uber for the last push, it seems, but Shock will have his Uber up around about now, and he's holding the line with the rest of his squad. They're pressuring equally. There's the jump coming out. They will force the Uber out of Shock, and the responding kind over on Muller. Actually, I think Muller popped first, so whilst I had my camera turned the other way, so I can see why Shock was a bit more trigger happy with his Uber than usual. Ghazi is poking that chokeway, but they don't want to risk things here on LEGGO because they have the round advantage. They don't really need a reason to keep making these aggressive plays.
Yeah, they didn't quite have the advantage that was big enough to really push on, I feel like, as well. It's probably smart, even not taking into account the things you just mentioned where they're kind of disincentivized to push. So I think they're getting ready to just slow things down. And now we are in the time where if you run out the clock, the game is over. Whereas early on in the game, if the map restarts, then you just get a free mid fight, basically.
They committed all of the Germans into that one doorway there to see if they can kind of shock and surprise them over on that flank, but it was such a well-fortified defense that they actually got a player down for their efforts over on the Germans. So well done by D Mole and co to kind of deal with that sort of attack.
Yeah, it's a lot of presence in choke right now. You can see just Elico is looking to see if he can. Amarok is looking if he can just find some pipes or something to get onto some important targets. Just the fact that they have this much space means they can jump soldier through pretty easily. And here go, one soldier not quite going to be able to find the medic. I think he's just going to wrap around trying to get onto the mule. And this is actually going to trade. All right, the mule does end up actually killing 2 players in there though. So. I've never seen that play on process before. Like it's so difficult to wrap around into PC from the choke, but he somehow did it.
It was just a little mistimed. I can see what the sentiment was. Fishkoff goes in and he wraps around from the side and they do this sort of pincer maneuver, but it was just a second delay with Fishkoff going down so quickly and easily at the start. Fortunately, Ghazi has the DM prowess to kind of back up the pincer maneuver without the pincer.
And we've got another sniper situation. Demul, he's gone on it. It's gonna just look to slow things down.
That was a situation. Oh, 999 called the ambulance. We have got a desperate situation. Oh God, he rings out another. Are you gonna give me a third Demul? It would be a lovely welcome home gift. Let's see. No, he's just kind of scaring them off now. I don't think they're going to find any more headshots here, as again, they just can't really go aggressive with this sniper. Oh my God, he's got another headshot against that scout as well. It's a good thing everybody's walking around with a buff over on the German side.
Yeah, I really like that they actually went for sniper here, because it's just such a good way to slow things down. You know, if you get a pick and you don't want to push, you can just sit back there and they can't really push on you at all. And also, they can sit really far back, and it's going to be very difficult for the enemy medic in Mula to just get in here without getting sniped. It's very, very uncomfortable.
Oh no, Gazi. Another headshot rings out. If Demul actually pumps up all the power into some of these headshots here, we'd probably get definite kills. But during all the chaos, he can't seem to find a headshot now. But it plays a little bit into LEGGO's hands, as they just had their well-fortified defenses set up to just deal with these aggressors. Oh, body shot coming out.
The Uber actually got used there through PC very aggressively, and they got out, but the Uber got basically nothing done. So we are just back to the Demul waiting cam right now, and he's been hitting some shots. Very uncomfortable. It's about 3.5 minutes. I think the Germans, they realize that they are in this situation where they're going to have to just force something really significantly. They can't just send in suicide. So I think we're just going to see pushes from now on, and no more suicide. It's just going to be, I don't want to call them dry pushes because it's Uber versus Uber, but they're just going to build Uber, go in, get Ubers out of the way, and then see if they can cause something to happen. Because even if they get pushed on, they might be able to just get some spawners in and then win that way. They just want to get as much movement in the game as possible.
Oh
and,
my.
I was kind of wrong. Looks like, oh, never mind, Uber has come in.
Well, they've put a soldier behind. This is kind of a great way to deal with a sniper. He's going to be far too paranoid about this soldier being behind to actually start hitting and aiming at people. He's going to actually switch off from soldier, from sniper to soldier himself. Gazi's going to try and take the 1v1. He kills him as well with the, even with his team peppering him at the back there and on his heels. And with the dust settling, it will be a LEGGO victory for this second point, maybe even midpoint, dare I say.
Yep, I really like the very aggressive play here. You can really tell that they were just trying to get things done, and unfortunately, they're going to lose mid for it. But they have gotten what they wanted in that there's now movement in the game, and now they're going to go in very aggressive air shots on Josh. Gets taken down there by Gazi and a friendly scout. So that's some really nice movement. There's a sorter behind. Actually, that's a scout in Yeehaw. But here comes the sorter in very aggressively up top. Takes down Idolos. And I think this might just be a bit too much aggression onto the Germans here.
Yeehaw is caught nipping at them from the side as well. It's just very, very difficult to even picture them making a comeback in this round, let alone come back on this point, as they are down a few squad members. But LEGGO don't want to push the issue here. They just want to not throw things, play it safe. Is this Josh calling you?
I mean, it's very smart, so probably not. And I'm kidding. I'm pretty sure they know exactly what's up here. And they know...
No.
Yeah, they know that the Germans right now, they're just trying to do these Uber pushing. They're just betting on the fact that they can hopefully get something really impressive done with this. And right now it's just not working. The iron wall is just too much. Medic's going to get taken down by Josh, who flanks in from the side. Classic pocket play, just goes in from the flank, I guess. And you see Gazi, he's not happy. He knows that they just got played, where they just got forced into this situation that they didn't like at all.
A desperate man can be a very stupid man, as they just went straight in there. They just had to do something, and you start just kind of realizing that these pushes aren't going to work, but you have to do something. You have to do anything, even if it just isn't going to work in a million years. Maybe you have 1,000,001 years in your back pocket, but that was just one of those really sad Ubers that you could see coming a mile off. Even, I think LEGGO could have taken their hands off the keyboard for a second there, and they still would have won that Uber push.
Yeah, probably. And all right, do we want to see if we can get something cool done on this last mid? It doesn't matter at all. It's only a matter of, okay, we have a pyro.
It's a pyro. Oh, he reflects the pipe. Hello, you two. the time it doesn't come up on those YouTube clips. All that matters are the frags, and they will win the mid. But I mean, you had a pyro going to mid. What do you expect? You're lacking
they don't
that
win
sort
mid.
of...
They're not even going to cap it in time. The noobs. Look at that. It was just the pyro getting a kill. That's all that matters. But yeah, I really want to see with these logs. I feel like the soldiers were just suiciding so much from both teams. I feel like they're both going to have terrible KDs. There's so many times it just felt like the soldiers were just feeding into this grinder of stickies and scatter shots. Now, let's take a look at that. And actually...
it doesn't look too bad. I thought.
Fiskov's bad. Fiskov's KD's bad, but everyone else...
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, it was so low down the screen, I had to scroll down to it. It's that low. But the soldiers on the German side are just having a much rougher time. It's a shame as well, because Gazi looked like he was doing all right, at least from the fights that I was seeing. I was thinking he shouldn't be winning some of these fights, but he was. So his KDA is still not grand, let's just say, but it's the life of a Roma. What do you expect?
I want to say the most shocking thing here is Idolas. It went 6 for 12 and has 113 damage per minute. That's ridiculously low for a Prem Scout. Like 113? Yeah. I think I've only ever seen that where it's like super stalematey games and like just nothing is happening and there's like giant pauses that make the log go weird. But no.
Yeah, it just seemed like the soldier show between both of these two teams. One was having a good time and one was dying. So Demol and Josh kind of towering up there, even though they had to make some sign of sacrificial roles and they were the first one being picked off at choke. Times were just going so good for them. Voxtech, though, however, being the outlier in all these logs, despite them losing the game there, he will get the most damage, the most kills. If only we could just print off 5 more of the guy and put him onto the German squad.
Yeah, this is kind of surprising to me. I wasn't noticing him at all, but I guess he was just putting in work. And just flying underneath my radar at least. And I will say, like, all the soldiers have the most deaths. So even if they did well, they were still dying. That's kind of just process in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But then Amarok actually doing really well compared to Elikor. He had 13 and 11, and then Elikor is 6 for 9. They have similar damage. So, Amarok's holding his own.
Yeah, it could be a case as well as that Elikor just can't get to the kills in time because Josh and Demol are just hoovering them all up before he turns up to the fight.
Yeah, like kills are not important at the moment, damages, but I mean, Amarok is still ahead on that. So.
Yeah. So this is pretty good though. It's a nice textbook example of probably winning these mid fights but not getting the medics down because it just transitions straight into these stalemates and the only people that are doing any fighting or killing or dying will be the soldiers. So, and obviously the winning team is going to have the much favorable soldiers. So other than that, looks pretty cookie cutter. You see some headshots a little bit on the board for Demol. Other than that, some air shots from Josh as per usual. Gazi trying to keep up with him as well. Not too much to say. Maybe looking at the medic logs, I don't see anything too shocking here. There was only a couple of disadvantages lost, but I don't see any sort of major outliers here.
Yeah, there was like one bad drop from Shock where he was like in choke where he wanted to get back out after he'd gone in and they lost the player and he ended up dropping. Alright, like that was kind of bad, but everything else was just pretty decent and pretty even for both teams. And I feel like the Germans can go into this second map feeling relatively good because I feel like they were playing well. They were not getting outplayed. They were playing like smart. They were doing what they needed to do. They weren't doing anything dumb, and the DM fights were pretty even as well. They just kind of ended up in this situation where they had to do a bunch of unfavorable things, and they ended up losing by 2 points instead of 1. But it was relatively close, and like it was 1-1 very late into the game. So yeah, they can definitely take this second map, which is pretty similar in the way it's set up. I feel like it's a longer map where there's a bunch of really tight chokes and you can just jump in some soldiers and they can die over and over again. It's not quite as pronounced as on Process, but in general I think scouts are just going to farm on this map as well. This is one of these maps where you can send scouts behind relatively easily because there's like this on second especially there's this tunnel that you can Like you can enter from the lower, and then you can just keep running into the lower as well. And then you're kind of behind, and then you can also just walk like across the point in behind, and you can jump people into the boiler room or the trap room. And then just in general, there's just a lot of low areas where you can run through and get someone behind and back cap and stuff.
I feel like if it plays out like I remember, this map is a little bit more hidden for soldiers. Like it's a bit easier to kind of get those mystery jumps out, especially if you're pushing from just like a lower right-hand side sort of thing, and then jumping over the big crate, and then you kind of doing the big whole surprise. This is where the jump is at, but most teams should have an idea or plan for that. As usually that's the go-to method for any roamer, but. I would love to get into a bit more of the philosophy behind these two teams and just what the effect of Amarok is having on this game. Not by the fact that he's play alone, but the fact that he's a mercenary for this squad. It kind of makes you wonder if things were a bit closer on that process than we were kind of expecting or not expecting. Do you think having their NAS boy that they had a little while ago would have been the difference maker?
That's hard to tell. It's one of those what-if scenarios that you just can't tell at all. I think a team is just always better off not changing their roster and just working it out. Like you need to get like an absolute superstar in order to like gain from roster changes. And I don't think Amarok is that much better than Nasboy that would be a net positive. Right? So I think they'd just be better off just staying consistent with their roster overall. But I do think Amarok is better than Nasboy, not by like a super significant part, but his DM is very, very good, and it's just a matter of
coordination.
Yeah, like he kind of reminds me of Lucas a little bit in the way that he plays, right? Just not quite as prominent, but yeah, I'm gonna guess that we're gonna see another close game, probably like 2-1 or 3-2 in favor of LEGGO again. But are you gonna just keep or stay on the German hype train?
Of course. I mean, it's lost a couple of train tracks at this point, but we'll keep chucking. Choo choo! All right, this is Team Fortress TV. This is TurboTabs. This is Beta, and this is still LEGGO versus that's liest doof. And let's see if they can doof it over on this middle. All right, okay, we're going in. It's Demo kind of jumping to his own team, almost defensively to deal with Fishkoff. Fishkoff will go for the long flank behind, and the aggression of the German squad is just being kited and dealt with so well by LEGGO. It seems to be a trend not only carrying over from Process, but just from the entire match.
Electro might come in for the big flank here. Yeah, he actually does find the pipe. Wow.
Muller, no. Oh. Survives for so long, literally at the gate, the finishing line, and then trips at the final hurdle, or somebody trips him.
That's the saddest death as a medic, where you run out of mid and you've almost made it, and now you're just kind of feeling, oh, I should have just killed Biden 15 seconds ago. That would have been better. All right, so now there's going to be a massive Uber advantage, like bigger than big. There's going to have you so much time. They're not going to have heals to contest second. They are going to have buffs for last, but this Uber is just going to be so far away. So it's just going to be a matter of trying to set up. This is a last hold that's very difficult to push. You can kite the Uber really efficiently. So LEGGO, they need to come in here and just catch people off or put pressure on the point or trap them in spawn. Just do something really efficient. But, they need to figure out what they want to do very early on and be very efficient at it.
Looks like the plan is guerrilla warfare. Ghazi's hiding in the flowers and nobody spots him so far. He springs his trap, will get the pick onto the class that's been nominated to... Oh, nice air shot coming out from Ghazi there as well. It looks like the guerrilla warfare actually worked out, hiding in the little plants and springing onto that scout that was trying to play the point there. And well done, Germans.
Yeah, if LEGGO had turned around or enabled their map hacks and just like gone straight onto him, he would have just died immediately and they would have been much better off. But he took a chance. They had an Uber disadvantage and it paid off there. So good play from Ghazi. They're gonna come out here, take second up. They have the Uber advantage as well. If they can spot the medic here, the shock could very easily get picked up. Actually, Ghazi's gonna win another fight here. So Ghazi continues to impress.
Vox Tech as well will actually fight out both of the flanks, and the soldiers were a big factor in their winning over on that process map. So LEGGO, they're tucking their tails between their legs and they're getting him down there, but not before they lay down a little sticky trap and see if they can pick off somebody. But Gazzy's the only one that's going from that doorway. They're going to send Fishkoff in. They're going to force the Uber out of shock, and I don't blame him now. I think he was extremely forced to use that Uber.
He was 100% going to die there if he didn't pop. Really good jump in there from Fishkoff. Like, he got that great 70 damage first rocket that slightly bounced the medic, where he just 100% going to hit the second one, which he did. But so, yeah, that was a really great force there. Good pressure to just come in and allow Fishkoff to get the space to go in here. So now they're going to come in very good. Doesn't even
no, the medic got dropped, Demol! The sniper out of nowhere, even I didn't see it, and I've got map hacks enabled, so with him going down, that's laid tatters to the second push. They're still trying to get it, the greedy Germans, and they're going to get mercilessly killed for it. And Amarok's the only one alive, and Amarok's going to have to spend a majority of his stick. He's just trying to get out, but he's just going to get delivered into Demol's arms, and Demol is feeling himself right now. What a player.
Yeah, that was both getting the medic there. I think he was just in spawn. It's a very obnoxious spawn that kind of has a pretty good sight line basically everywhere. And it's going to be soldier.
That was close. That was very close.
Yeah, Mula goes down very weak again. Almost dying is the same as not dying. It's actually going to be Josh coming in here. Hits two nice rockets onto a scout, takes him down, and then if he gets out, this is great. Looks like that's not quite going to be the case, but he got his pick that he wanted. And now he could go potentially for a banner or just probably be back in time to help defend just fine.
They should just try and defend this point from an arm's reach there. They've got the spawns on their side here, and they're all entering the same doorway. Elokor should be having a field day with this blob entering on the left, but he kind of catches him a little bit by surprise. But the soldiers are doing a wonderful job of kind of picking apart the blob and confusing them. They'll actually send a back cap there, and that sends the blob even more confused. Some players have been left behind on mid. Some are trying to deal with the back cap, and Demol gets a couple of trades during all of that as well. And with the Uber charge in tow over on LEGGO, they're going to make the second push. I don't think they even need it.
Nope, they're going to just be able to save it up and keep it for the next level, which would be this last point, where they failed before, but let's see if they fail again.
Elokor's in. He's right on top. Look at that. That did so much damage. It just melted them. And they were in spawn. They were in their happy place, but they've been sent to a much peaceful place now. Kunu's on the point. The heavy weapons guy is out, but he is down. The medic is the only one left alive during all of this, and he will die for the cause. It will be 1-0 to LEGGO.
Great job there by Elokor. That was an absolute nuke. Just getting them basically inside of spawn. I think if they had done the respawn command, they would have survived that perhaps. They couldn't have known that that pipe would just hit the both of them. So it was a really great job there, but it kind of goes to show that that's what it takes to take this last point, even the Uber advantage.
Alright, they're all opting to just bum rush right hand side over on the liest doof, and Gazzy is poking about, killing them with the tension of not jumping immediately, and instead they're just walking it in, the old walking bomb. But they're just getting walked all over as LEGGO just re-enters. Like, okay, if you're not going to jump us, we'll just throw our scouts in there. And the medic, we've seen
kill
this
yourself,
before.
my man.
No, I don't know what he's trying to do there. I don't know what sort of parkour trick he could do off the fence that would have kept him alive, but he will go down, and they're capping the midpoint slowly so they could get set up for last.
That mid looked so easy, dude. They just walked all over them. They just kept walking forward, and everyone kept dying. Very efficient mid from LEGGO, and they're going to have this massive Uber advantage as well. There's a sniper with Voxy on the right side. Not quite going to be able to get the medic, it looks like, but they're just going to do the same push as before.
Uh-oh. Not again. Not like this, as they're going to get the heavy weapons guy, but they need to get him on a point immediately. The sentry gun will go down. The scout will go down as well. Right side has been denied. Stop using that door, please, says LEGGO. And Josh will jump in, but he creates some space for his scouts, and it's just looking incredibly easy into this second map. They had to work really hard for 2 rounds on that process, but not at all on this Reckoner.
Yeah, this was a really easy round for them. That was just a complete roll. They got mid very easily, lost basically no one, and they just rolled into last. And it was a pretty easy last push as well, because Eliko got kind of lucky. He was sticking up the sentry gun, and then the soldier ran in front of it, so he got 2 kills basically for 1 sticky trap. So that was nice, and then they just overpowered them, despite the Germans doing a pretty good job of just kiting the Uber.
They all really like using the same doors over on where das liest is stuff. They trade sides of the map, and Muller's getting a lot of pressure from not only Spam but Demo, but will play, show the dance of his people and keep himself alive. Ghazi's coming in from behind, will push Shock away, but all that damage laid into the medic might as well be no damage at all. He will just walk it off, and with the blob versus blob action. And Idolos, he's doing a good job of just kind of picking up the pieces, and will go down himself. And Scout, Soldier, Scout, Demo, Scout.
Eliko is like on 3 HP, and he's just hitting so many things. He should have been dead many times
Oh
over.
no. Muller does not believe. Popped off the Uber there, fearing that his Demo Man was going to go down, and takes the Walk of Shame back as LEGGO didn't even have to pop at all. I don't think they even saw it, that Uber charge.
Yeah, that was just a really bad situation once again. So LEGGO, it seems like they've just really found their stride. Maybe recognize just their map, or the Germans are just not practiced well enough there. There's a soldier in the corner. I don't think they realize, okay, now they do. Actually bounces the soldier into the medic, so that's going to be an Uber pop for sure. Everyone's trying to get out here through the boiler room, and they will succeed in doing so. Fiskov not going to be able to escape, but everyone else has made it out alive.
Yeah, and well, they're brave enough though to enter last point dry. They do have to deal with a sentry gun. They will get moved, but then spammed out from its moved position. They're holding the chokes close here. The medic is forced to pop off. Josh just walking in and walking back out again. They will lose Elikor for this, so you could just call this forced Uber a successful Uber for where das liest is stuff, and they are doofing right into the second point. They will pressure out this medic. They can't find the direct onto him. Ghazi will go down, and they're not really capping the second point at the most efficient speed as well. Josh is giving a bit of a poke from the right hand side. Yeehaw wants to come back for more. They finally go back for that second point, but they're just going to have to give it up all over again because the reinforcements are back from LEGGO, and Idolos didn't get the memo. He will go down, and there's an Uber charge being built on the side of Shark.
Really unfortunate there. There were so many players that just almost died, like Yeehaw surviving there. It just means that they had extra players and were able to get in there. So it's just very close margins right now, and they're all just going in the favor of LEGGO. So they're going to get another Uber push, it seems like. It's going to be a very small advantage, but they don't care. They're in.
Oh, the switching sides immediately. Elikor is keeping it fresh, laying a lot of damage into this heavy weapons guy. Will feel a bit of flash there, and Demo just backs out. Rest of LEGGO just backs out. Can't really chase them out of there with the Fat Man, and they're just going to reset things, build that Uber charge up, maybe even see if they can get a pick on these doorways, but Idolos, he's hungry, he wants more. Oh, he's hungry for Snickies. Nom nom nom, hungry hippo will go down as he's ate too many of those little bouncing balls. It looks like with the scout down, that's given the confidence to LEGGO to go back in with this push. They do have Amarok's spam to deal with, but the doorways are pretty open here on this Reckoner. Oh, it's an alley jump special. Will take him down. 50% of the time, it works every time with the medic going down. They just can play off heals. They've even got an Uber charge. They can sail this in. Easy peasy lemon squeezy for LEGGO here. Well, how can they drop this? They're kind of slowly taking this fight. They're not killing the girls as quickly as they should be. Josh is so low. He's waiting patiently for his crossbow. He's on fire. He'll hit the poor man. The Irishman will go down. Ghazi's going back to guerrilla warfare. Will die with the apes, and we're back to the square one. And how did they throw it there, Bisa?
I think that just regretting not waiting for respawners before going in there, because you know they were a demo man down and stuff, and it's just such a big point there where you can get kited, and they lose 2 players going in here very aggressively as well. And
Save Your Friend syndrome. We've all seen that film, Save It Private Ryan. The entire team went down just to save that one player. Unless it's a medic, I don't think it's worth it in this film. Voxtech is going to scout upon Josh, and Josh is feeling the burn. He will get healed this time, and he's trying to fend off all these players on his own, and he needs backup. He needs an invisible spy. He needs Demol, who's made his way behind enemy lines, and he's coming in behind. He's got the juicy back right there. He gets the backstab onto the medic. Mission accomplished. French espionage saves the day once again. They've got an Uber charge, and this time they just need to not do it a second time. They have Voxtech caught behind to try and deal with another secret espionage, but you can't go invisible. He will go down, and Uber charge ready for LEGGO. They're entering second point. There's no one to really fight with, so they're going to have to just claim this second point and push it into last.
Yeah, I think they're just going to just stack this second point and then just go in. They're probably going to go in right side again, and it's kind of worked out for them. There will be a sentry gun in there, but I think that they can just take that down super easily. And Eleko again gets Mula with that jump in. Mula, I guess, needs to just play further into spawn, but now on the right side, a lot of pressure. The Pyro's in there, the Heavy's in there.
Oh,
Crunch.
wow. Yeah, that was just an entire big red blob just being scattered apart there, pushed apart, and surgically removed at the seams as they will part with another round on the board with 3-0 the scoreline, 16 minutes left. Do you not feel like it's just 5-0 in the heads of both of these teams right now?
Yeah, it's very easy to get just caught into that kind of mentality when you're down a whole bunch, but there's still actually a lot of time left. It's not more than half the time remaining, so you can't just lose heart like this. If you just get one round, you're back into it. So I hope they continue to play here.
Ghazi took a lot of damage from the start of that fight there, has to kind of dip out just to get a health kit, and they will hold the line. It looks like they never needed a roaming soldier all along. They just needed to believe in themselves. Yeehaw is nipping at the ankles of Fishkoff, but they don't care. With Yeehaw, actually, he's still on this midpoint. He could kill this Scout 1v1 and delay the entire push from this German squad, but Scout 1v1 MGE pays off as Idolos will secure it for his boys, and the boys are fighting. They were at the last point. This is very greedy from them. How dare they enter the home before they even cap off the second point?
Yeah, the classic overextension right here. Probably a bit too aggressive. They couldn't get too much. They do get Eleko, which is nice, which means that they can run through chokes if they so desire, but you know, it's just not going to work out. They're going to get forced there. Oh my god.
Mula caught in a horrible position there. No way to get out and has to back off. Lee's scout to die is like, I hope you can get your 1v1 skills going there, buddy. But Shock just looks him in the eyes and realizes, you ain't killing me. You ain't even going to damage me, as they will hold on to his Uber and to his health points.
1v1 skills. Try 1v3 skills. That's what he needs to hone in that situation. But yeah, I mean, it was smart by Mula to leave him there. And, you know, to be fair...
Fishkoff taking a taxi straight to Shock, but Shock, he's just got some balls of steel. Will not pop for no man. No matter how many 3v1s he's being launched his way. Well, 1v3s.
Yeah. Indeed. So this is a pretty weak hold right now that we see from Vettersley's doof. Like, they are in the boiler room, the trap room. You can't hold from there. Like, just, you will eat every single piece of spam, and if you get aggressed on, you're just going to die as you try to retreat. So they just retreat immediately and just wait for their own Uber to get built.
You don't think it's going to happen again, right? I mean, I see Eleko. He's sitting there. He's getting a buff. He's in the position. He's saying a sticky down. He's saying 2. He's launching up into the air. He's gone behind and he will go down. Well, I've just hyped that up way too much. But, I mean, can't win them all. As 50% of the time, it does fail every time. And he will go down. They're pushing back out over on this German squad. And they do have the Uber, however, over on LEGGO. So, you know, good news. Bad news.
Yeah, indeed. I will say... The reason that didn't work was actually because Mula was just being so aggressive. He was playing really far forward. So everyone who jumped either got just stopped from the team that was super buffed, or they jumped way too far in and there was just no medic there. So he wasn't playing close to spawn at all.
You've heard of the scout back cap, you've heard of a spy back cap, but the roaming soldier back cap, it caps so slowly. He's getting there. He jumps preemptively, expecting him to come back and deal with him, but just a little bit smidgen too quick. Oh, did he actually fall? Oh,
yeah, he just jumped into the medic. So that was 100% worth it. Really great play there by Demol. Threatening the back cap, getting the Uber force out. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, I guess I counted my chickens a little bit early there. I'm sorry, Demol. It just looked like they had you controlled, as they will get the second point on lockdown now, back off the efforts of Demol. And every time we enter this little chokeway, I have to find Elokor, see where he's going to jump from next, and his jumps kind of get interrupted a little bit, but he's still going to try and go into this last point. We're getting that right hand side door on lockdown. The Demo Man down. That's bad news bears for Wer das liest is doof, and I can't even finish their name. The round finishes that quickly, Beta.
LEGGO is just doing so much damage on these pushes. I think he did like 600 damage. That's what it feels like, at least. Just every single shot he shot just found its target and did a ton of damage. And LEGGO, after failing that initial push, it seems like they've got these last pushes just completely on lock, and they know exactly what they're trying to do, and they're just executing it perfectly. That's going to be 4-0. Still 12 minutes remaining. It's actually a lot of time, but they are just rolling, very unlike what we saw in the first map.
Alright, well, Demo is going to jump in straight into the arms of Fishkoff here. Keeps them guessing because they've actually changed out their rollout over on this middle. Yeehaw is well into the thick of it and will go down, but is alive far too longer, much longer than I expected, and got a kill in a cheeky little pick. But they will get this midpoint. I guess that was a bit more on LEGGO, it looked like to me. LEGGO just kind of threw themselves in so fully into the German squad. It just kind of entered the meat grinder for me.
Yeah, they were going for some kills, and then they couldn't quite get to them, and then it just completely got away from them as more and more people got in there and tried to follow up on the damage, and they just got chewed up. So the medic got out alive. He had a scout cap in there, so it's not a complete disaster. They are on a last hole, and we might see a spy play. Not...
Amarok is low.
The soldier shot. Gassy hits Josh again with the air shot, just makes him crater. Really good job there, but the spy is in. He's been hit by something. I didn't see that, but he is in position near the medic.
He keeps bumping into him over and over and over again. He will actually decloak now. He misses him. He jumps over his head. Tony Hawk.
Oh,
and gets the pistol kill instead. If you're not going to meet me back to back, you're going to meet me face to face. He will go down, and they can make this push. What are they waiting for? They're shocked. They're like, I can't believe he pistoled the medic down. Oh yeah, we should probably push. Oh, Muller almost dropped the Uber there, but we're still going okay. Yeehaw will kind of quickly do the quick respawn out. They will deal with the spawners on point, and the spawners are actually working. Amarok is on his own, and wow, that was very, very clutch from LEGGO there. They could not finish off these players that were getting back into the respawners for LEGGO. And
Boxy, he's on shock. He's right behind him. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4. Oh.
No shot, no shot, no more scout, no more. That was my poem.
Very well done. What? Who's missing? Someone. Oh, he just left the server. He's like, ah, damn it.
Okay. Well, bit of server lag there, but I'm guessing this is the point. Maybe this is the point in history where things change and the Germans make their huge epic comeback, as the soldiers will push them out of midpoint. The comeback doesn't look too convincing so far, but benefit of the doubt. 9 minutes left. That's a long time in FPS land, so we'll see what they can come up with. They've got an Uber charge over on LEGGO, and whether or not they'll push... Okay, yeah, that's a silly question. Of course they'll push with it. Oh my god, Elikor! He's like a nuke! He just went in and did so much damage, and they're all just trying to... They can smell the blood in the air over on LEGGO as well. They know how much damage he did, and they wanted to just get through that tiny, tiny doorway and get the kills, but they all kind of smushed together and couldn't get through the door at the same time.
Yeah, it's the trap room, man. It's a trap to be in there. You will get destroyed every time. Actually, the counter Uber comes out of it. They're going to chase LEGGO really aggressively. But oh my god.
Oh, what intonation. He went behind. He got the back cap, and he might even get a medic kill as well. And Idolos is... this is a sad day for a scout when you're fighting all these players with all these guns, and they will go down.
Yeehaw just chewed them all up. They were chasing Yeehaw, and then all of a sudden you just started running into them and just went, no. I'm just going to get a 5k to end this game off. You can't stop him. Can he get a 6k? Not quite yet. Come on. There, that's a 6k. 6k to end the game for Yeehaw. No biggie. 5-0 for LEGGO. The first map was really close, but the second map, it was just all LEGGO all the time. They had a few failed last pushes. They even got pushed on last a couple of times, but at the end of the day, that wasn't close at all. So, convincing second map for them.
Yeah, it was... I wouldn't say it was completely one-sided in the sense that, we did have a few heartbreakers there. They did push them to that last point and got a couple of mids themselves over on Wer das liest is doof, but they just showed him how defense is at that last point and how to do it correctly. I'm sure they're going to be hitting the VODs over on the German squad and seeing what's going wrong and what's going so right for LEGGO. And if I think I had to point out what's going right, we go to the logs and we look at Elikor Now this guy has turned up. Now he must have had his monitor off for the first map beta because he turned up. He turned up for that second map.
Yeah, he wasn't getting focused as hard, and just when the momentum is going for your team, playing Demo Man is just so much easier when you're not getting pressured. That really is the thing with Demo Man. When you're getting jumped, when you just have scouts and soldiers in your face all the time, and you feel like you're just being pressured out of the map, it's so difficult. But when you are in the driver's seat and you're not being pressured and you're just free to shoot things are just so much easier for you. And then to top that off, he had some really great Ubers where he just jumped in very aggressively and picked off people in spawn, including medics and stuff. So yeah, good map there. And then of course the scouts, 19-4 for Kunu. Yeehaw went 24-9. Great stuff. And Fiskov again just getting slammed. 7 for 20. I mean, that's just kind of Roman life.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these teams, when they look at these logs as well, I feel like you can pick up the sort of symptoms of what might be going on. You need to obviously look at the gameplay. Don't look it all into the logs because sometimes you're just going to miss some shots here and there. But if you look at the differences between the deaths of the medics here, Beta, we got 2 deaths on Shock and 12 deaths over on Moolah. Usually that's the sign of a team that needs to go back with the drawing board with the map in general. That's like a coordination or just like incorrect holding or play. Do you know what I mean? It's a coordinated effort. That medic isn't having a poor performance because the medic is such a core component and, kind of kited and defended so easily that usually if he's going down this much, it's a problem with your entire squad.
Yeah, indeed. All right, we've got 2 scouts in the spec, so let's get them in here and talk to them because they were doing really well on the second map, especially. All right, it's going to be joining us now. It's going to be Kunu and Yeehaw. Oh, I need to unmute them. My bad.
All right, while you're getting the muzzle off their faces, I'm just going to say, well done, boys. Well done. It's a nice, tidy victory for both of you coming into this week 4. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. How are we all?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. That was good.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Thanks for asking, bro.
What a lovely game to come back. I haven't casted for a while, guys. That was a real nice one to watch.
Is this your first cast in like ages? No.
New PC, innit?
Yeah, a long time. But it was really nice. Nice to see some old names and still got it seems. Showing these new kids on the block that there's not too many new kids, but you catch my drift. Anyway, so guys, going into this matchup, did you expect the result to be like this? Because when you look at the table, a lot of people might think that this game is supposed to be closer than it might suggest.
I wouldn't say we expected to 5-0 them. We expected to win, I think, because we feel we're better. But obviously they've just gone through the loss of Nasboy. Rest in peace, my brother. Miss you, Ashley.
See you in the next life, inshallah.
Okay, so boys, tell me about these maps. Like, is it just the maps? I know a lot of teams like to say, "Oh, we all practice the maps and all this stuff," and if it was any other maps, it would be the same. But I mean, it looks so different from Process going into Reckoner. It has to be the maps a little bit, right?
Elicor loves Reckoner. That's all I have to say.
Is it just that he just wants to jump in and just kill everything on those laps?
He just loves the map and he's very good at it. As much as Josh doesn't enjoy it, Elicor's very good at it, and in turn we seem to be alright at it.
Yeah, both you scouts did really well on the second map. I mean, I think you did pretty well on the first one as well, but like, was it just that Elicor was doing a ton of damage and you just had like a bunch of easy kills for you, or was there something else that really felt different in the 2 maps for you scouts?
I don't know. I don't think there's much to say. I mean, on Process, I wasn't playing that well today. So on Process, I knew what they were gonna do. So I just like kind of stayed back and just like spammed the scouts down so they couldn't do anything. Just kind of denied them instead of going for fights like I would normally. And on Reckoner, I just was feeling it a bit more, so I just like followed up more aggressively on the mids.
I personally am a big despairer of Process's map. I think it's awful. But Reckoner's okay, so I felt a bit more comfortable. And I think as a team we feel a lot more comfortable on Reckoner. I wouldn't say a lot more comfortable actually, but we feel comfortable on it. I think a lot of that's down to Elicor.
cool.
Right.
Now, guys, we don't get to Prem by being okay or settling for all right. There must be something about your performance tonight where you thought, I wish we were a bit better at this, or I wish we didn't do this. Was there any of those sort of mistakes that us plebs wouldn't be able to notice tonight that you guys are not happy with?
Oh, for sure. I mean, they always happen.
What about examples? Anything you were like, oh, wow.
Pushing into process mid with add and trying not to use. I said once, I think shock dropped as well on that one, which is unlucky.
Was there anybody on the side of Verdas, liest, doof that was giving you a particularly hard time? Someone that's a bit of an outliner compared to your average Prem player?
I don't know. They just like Boxy just takes his team by the balls and takes heals, and then tries to he takes heals and then tries to play flank scout. So I was like really ready for it, so just kind of shut him down pretty much.
I had a bit of an issue with Amarok. He didn't miss for a while. So
did you welcome having them have a different demo man though? Do you think it would have been a different result with Nasboy and the third coordination a bit more, or do you think the result would have been mostly the same?
I think it would have been completely different because we definitely would have 5-0'd them on process with Nasboy.
Hey.
I would like to respectfully disagree and say they would have played better, but I think the result would have still been the same.
Okay, fair enough. Peter, have you got any actual good questions kicking back there?
I want to know, you guys are playing Viaduct next week, or on this Thursday, I think it is.
Yeah. This is...
Who's going to play Sniper, right? Because you guys all want to play Sniper, I think.
What do you mean?
Don't you want to play Sniper on Friday? And you're going to fight Dimul, who also just wants to just perma-snipe?
I mean...
I think you're so clever, don't you, Peter? I think you've got us all figured out.
Ooh. Have I not?
No.
Going ambi-spy.
So who does get to kind of choose or take charge of who plays Sniper? Is it just basically one guy has a lightning moment and thinks I feel like playing Sniper right now, and it's like, okay, give him the Sniper, or is there an actual designated guy?
It's whoever's dead, isn't it? If I'm dead, I'll snipe. If Demor's dead, he'll snipe.
Okay.
If Yeho dies, I'll go to spawn and snipe because I'll...
You guys are just going to suicide immediately. This is going to be the most aggressive thing we've ever seen.
Mid starts and it's just like, oh, whoops, hit the suicide key. Yeah, well.
Just kill buds and spawns instantly. Grabs the class.
It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be against the Frenchies. List fake callers, Delia Extreme, or whatever they're called.
The creme de la creme.
Yeah. So, how do you think you guys match up against those guys?
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So the fake callers. How do you think?
The fake callers. We haven't played.
It's alright, dude. We used to it.
We haven't played them since the swap. We played them a bit. I played them a bit on Aura. I mean, it was quite close, but I think with this roster we would be more confident.
Yeah, I don't. We've never played them, but I don't think anyone's, really struggling to think about which way the game's going to go. To be honest.
I mean, Karnax is Karnax, so you always gotta keep your eye out on him. But once he's gone, I don't think they have many other tricks up their sleeve.
All right.
So I want to know, your guys had a roster who's had quite a bit of turmoil, and you also lost a bunch of points because of or Electro dropping. So technically, you're 6th in the bracket right now. You just moved up a whole bunch. But what is your goal for this season? Do you think you can win it all, or do you just want to make playoffs first? What's the goal for the season?
I mean, my personal goal would be to be at least in grand finals. I think we have a chance of winning it. I think we're playing okay against Ascent so far, even with only just 2 or 3 weeks of playing. But really, the main goal is LAN, obviously, because that's a month and 2 weeks away, and that's what everyone really cares about, isn't it?
Right. Do you know what the roster is going to be for LAN?
Same roster.
Same roster.
Same roster. Okay, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. We might have space for you, bro.
My what?
You want in? We might have space for you. You want in?
I mean, I am terrible.
Yeah,
so...
I do play a mean soldier. I haven't played for 5 years. Put me in, coach. I used to play with Drac, okay? So I taught that boy everything he knew.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but so did Condog.
Oof. Point taken. All right, I'm out of questions. How about you, Beta?
Yeah, let's just get some shout outs going. So Yeehaw, you get the first shout out. Who do you want to shout out before we go off?
My team. And yeah, that's it.
All right, Koff, do you have as many shout outs?
I'll shout out team as well. Gab and Pat, Chloe, Tanner. Yeah, that's good.
Shout out to my new PC. Woo, I can alt tab. Hey.
Oh wow, that's fancy. All right, and I will shout out. I have a demo call on ETF2L.org. If you just look in the sidebar, it will be like recent thread or whatever it's called.
I'm still waiting for my legacy video, Beta. High legacy.
Oh, you better get working. You better jump in some DM servers and get your DM on and hit some fat air shots and stuff. I mean, I also have an unserious demo call on TFTV in the video section. I will accept literally anything. I have people sending me like frags from pre-game of pubs. It's great, you know. So there is nothing I won't accept. So if you can't play competitively, or if you're just too afraid to go into Prem like TurboTabs, then you can just jump into it.
Whoa, lad, I'm sending you some I-46 Pyro Highlander frags this very second. Don't worry.
Fantastic. That sounds like that's gonna break the game. Like, do you know they like updated Pyro? It's been a really long time ago. I'm pretty sure that demo's just gonna break the game, just immediately.
You're welcome. All right.
Thank you.
We should probably close it out. Okay,
Yeah.
so this has been Team Fortress TV. This has been ETF2L Season 35, Week 4, powered by Copenhagen Games. This has been our match of LEGGO versus das liest doof. And very congratulations to LEGGO and the squad, and hard luck to the Germans as well. It's been I, TurboTabs, giving you that play-by-play, Beta giving that much better play-by-play, and DrHappiness showing you that play-by-play. And we do thank Kuno and Yeehaw for joining us for the interview. It's been wonderful, and we'll hope to see you all next time.